Can you tell us about yourself, please?
Okay, my name is Samuel Ubong, and I go by the name of Arit Okonson, which is my creative moniker. I'm a classroom teacher. I'm in the non-governmental space, and also an artist, illustrator, poet, and children's book author.
All right, thank you, Simon. Recently, you just had the exhibition Metanoia.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the idea behind the theme Metanoia?
Okay. Now, metanoia is of the essence of transformation or change. So it's trying to explain how change comes in different forms and series. So I was looking forward to fusing my ideas, experiences, and exposure as a biology teacher, a classroom teacher, and artist to fuse those ideas to tell a story that is going towards transformation and change. And all the ideas actually went well because they fused into the concepts that are easily relatable. So these art pieces are speaking to us from the language we understand. So metanoia is from the pieces went from life to life itself instead of from life to death, which is a biological process. After death, life, procreation, and all. So it's a beautiful concept where I try to tell a story, fuse a story using biology and art, and of course, storytelling to make it a reality.
Thank you. We also see that you had a very interesting way of depicting some of the different phases of life and all of that. And there are a few pieces that I find very interesting.
Yeah.
I find the one of self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about how you created that and why did you choose to represent that in the way you did?
Yeah. We as humans, we are prone to our emotions. That is to say that our decisions are guided by our emotions. There's no human being that does not have that emotional attachment to the way they behave, act, or think the way they do. So the depiction of sabotage is more of we take decisions that we think are good to us in the short term, but eventually leads to ruin or peril. And also, it's just trying to draw our attention to see that the things that we actually take as valuable now may have a long-term effect. So, as part of the metanoic process, at some point, everybody must have undergone some kind of sabotage behavior or attitude, must have taken advantage of thinking that you know what's good for you, but that's not the way that is actually accurate. So sabotage is also a way of life of humans. We actively seek sabotaging behaviors, consciously or unconsciously. So I was trying to depict how we behave and the psychology behind how we do what we do. Yeah, so.
And also, there's another one that also caught my interest. The one with a million followers and no savior.
Yeah, okay. 1,000 fans,
1,000
zero
fans,
helper.
zero helper.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that as well?
Well, being in the 21st century, we have more access, more digital connections with humans, but less physical connections. It's easier to say, I know this person. He has 1,000 followers on Instagram or all the social media platforms and above, as far as 10,000, 100,000, and 1 million and the rest. But these people that follow you, I believe a follower ought to know who they are following to some point, and the person that is being followed ought to have an idea of who is following him or her. But in the real sense, in the real world, aside the digital space, we find out that you have that audience, but in reality, you might be lonely. So you see, the human interaction is missing despite the fact that you know so much people. Imagine you have 100 followers and 100 followers are in a room with you at that point. You can imagine the sensory overload that can take place there. But yes, 1,000 followers, zero helpers is just as the name implies. When you get into trouble, you might be very shocked. Cameras just get raised to your face, but no helper in literal sense. So, yeah.
So, what do you hope that this exhibition, what do you hope that the impact will be in terms of people who have seen, who came to see it, and people who have seen it? What do you hope people take away from this?
Well, I I wish they get to have an introspection because the art is not about me. You know, we try to the first thing we put in the entrance was a mirror. So before you get a metanoic experience, you have to look at yourself. So you're the art, you design or you decide your medium, how you want it to be. So placing a mirror is more of a psychological trick to remind you that you are the change that you require and you're the change that you desire. So my role was to show you you in essence. The art is just an expression of like complimenting you. So what I was trying to do also was to share the concept that if you experience this metanoic exhibition, for instance, you should think deep about yourself because the stories from family to birth to death to emotions, it should give you a transformative mind that you can actually be a better version of yourself. As I said earlier, it's bigger than me. There are more exhibitions to come, but my profession as a classroom teacher is to bring out the best in you. So I added it to this experience just for you to have a, a reflection of yourself. So art, anybody can paint, but the message is what carries the weight, you know? Because if you look at some pieces, they might say it doesn't, it's not aesthetically pleasing, but the message behind it goes beyond aesthetics, I believe, and said beauty is fleeting. But this message is not fleeting, it's going to be here for a very long time. So my art, the metanoic experience and exposure is about the artist himself or herself. So I think for anybody that has experienced this, I think we had a wonderful time because we had conversations, we laughed, we reminisced on a lot of things, and we reflected on our personal exposures and experiences. So I think that's what I wanted to do, and I achieved my goal.
Thank you very much, Samuel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.